Good morning, everybody. Justin Poublon here, WisconsinWX.com meteorologist, with a weekly update. It's 12:22 p.m. here on Monday, the 7th of December. What I got in front of you is the 7-day forecast for Wisconsin Rapids, central Wisconsin area. Uh, for the next 7 days, it's looking like, at least for the next 4 days, it's going to be not really much in the way of rain or snow. Above average temperatures. Maybe some nice days in there. The more weather questionable days will come later in the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe at that point a lowering of the temperature. That's a 7-day forecast. The 7-day temperature line graph looks like this again. Above average temperatures in here. Even look at the lows; they're running well above the average low temperature there in Wisconsin Rapids. And then this weekend, perhaps a downturn. Okay. Looking at the last 7-day temperature trend, these yellow, red, and orange colors are above average temperatures. Generally in this region, I went a little over there here. Actually, I'm just going to redraw that because I don't like the way that looked. Like that, above average in this region. And this has gone the way we thought it would here. Okay, we knew it was going to be above average here in December. The question is how long is that going to last? Will this pattern be consistent throughout, or will it be cut short and replaced by a new pattern in the second half of December? Latest information seems to be pointing to a new pattern, or at least a more relaxed, less ridgy pattern in the West. So, but this is the last 7 days. We'll see where we go from here. I think Wisconsin, this region, might actually be warmer in these next few days relative to the average, and then after that point going down, as I just showed you in that 7-day forecast. Okay, here's what it looks like at the 500 millibar level. These are the height anomalies ending on the 12th of December. I believe that would be Saturday, so that's this Saturday. Just showing that above average tendency here at the upper levels for more ridging here and a bit of a trough there. We had that nor'easter go off over here. It was really fun to watch there with snow and rain and all kinds of good stuff going on here. That pattern seems to be changing now a little bit, which is pretty much normal and what you would kind of expect. You know, you go into a pattern for a little bit and you may produce 1 or 2 storms, and then the bigger storms tend to be the pattern changer or the signal of a pattern change. Over the following 6 to 10 day period, I'm not sure actually if that's the following. It might be the following. It is the 6 to 10 day period. So from this Saturday through the following Saturday, probably, no, the following Thursday. That looks different there at the 500 millibar level. Okay, this looks like more of a relaxed flow. Certainly not the ridging that we had out here before. I mean, it looks like normally there is a little bit of a ridge there according to the seasonal norms, but this to me doesn't say too much. It just shows that it looks like the replacement of the pattern that we had is now in effect or coming into range here over the next 7 days at the end of that 5 to 7 day period. As far as the 2-meter temperature anomaly goes, in that 6 to 10 day period ending next Thursday, not this one, but next Thursday, still warmer there across the Great Lakes. So even with this tendency towards demolishing that ridge in the west, you still have warmer temperatures in the east. So again, it's not going to be sensible temperature-wise. Besides the storms that may end up coming through with this, it doesn't seem like it's that major of a shift. Looking at the PNA, I mean, at least not yet. Looking at the PNA, you're seeing it was been positive for the last half month or so. Now it looks like we're about to head down more towards neutral. This is a 0 index. Again, this is positive land. This is negative land. A positive PNA would indicate more ridging in the West Coast, and negative PNA would be more troughing in the West Coast, and that thus a more stormy pattern for the upper part of the country into the Great Lakes. So anyways, more is neutral doesn't say much to me necessarily. I just think that when you're trending one direction or you're trending away from the ridging, that would just be the takeaway message on that. If we look at the 500 millibar jet flow, again, we look at the 500 millibar because it's kind of the overall pattern. It's what's dictating the weather systems, the direction they come from, the overall scheme, warmer versus colder on a regional basis. So that's why we start here, and then we get lower in the atmosphere and go towards more detail-oriented views. at the jet stream level starting right now and going through time here. This is Wednesday, Thursday. You're seeing, I'm going to go back and forth a little bit here. You see how there's this jet stream that kind of goes over the top of the country, kind of on that northern fringe between along the Canadian and United States border. That over the next few days goes away. Okay, now it's more of a split flow. This to me is just, I would call it crap flow. I don't really care much for it, but you do have southern stream energy here, and that could be our next weather maker later on in the week. So as we go, starting at, this looks to be Thursday night into Friday, you're seeing that southern stream energy kind of come through. It's not that strong. I see that, in this model run by the weekend or by Saturday, maybe some reinforcement there, some help. This jet stream kind of routing that base, but I don't know. I mean, there's nothing major about it. I just see on a regional scale. I mean, this is more of a trough there that's moving through, a transient trough, and then again, kind of back to this almost zonal flow for a little bit, and then by the time we get to 234 hours, so this is at the end of 6 to 10 day period, Thursday, December 17th, maybe back to a split flow with some southern stream energy again. This is just one solution. I'll show you something in a little bit that the reason why I'm not going to go sinking my teeth into anything at that 6 to 10 day time frame is because the consistency is not that great. Again, and just another look to reinforce this idea, right? We have that ridging up there. That's why it's been so warm. I'm just going to show you this. Last 7 days, okay, this kind of correlates to this. Okay, you can kind of see they're in the same area at the upper levels. And then, but as we go through this week and into the 6 to 10 day period, wow, I mean, that's sort of no real major signal one way or the other. So more of a seasonal or, in my opinion, less interesting weather pattern. But that doesn't mean there won't be storms that way. Okay, so let's get more detailed here. We're going to take a look at the precipitation type and surface pressure readings here from the GFS from the latest model run for the next, I don't know, maybe 234 hours or so. And we're thumbing through this week here. You're seeing the warm. You're seeing that those temperature readings here. These warm lines here. This is kind of like, I only really look at it for the freezing line. I don't care too much for the thickness levels. But kind of showing it up in this region, I don't know, it might be warmer than average for sure across Wisconsin. But that's this week. And then as we sort of go through time, you're seeing that southern stream system that I showed you here. I'm going to show you again for Friday around that time period. This low pressure system kind of ejects with this upper level streak here, which is kind of weak. And then later on in the period, it gets reinforced from back here. But by that point, probably not as much impacting Wisconsin weather. Going into here, so here's that low pressure system being shown up in there as a result. And as we take it through time real slowly, you're actually seeing some snow and you're seeing a bit of a weather maker there. This would be probably Friday into Saturday time frame. All the models show a weather maker for that period, but it's very important to note that there's the consistency is not there as far as what it's going to look like. So I'm certainly not going to go down the route of a major system at this point. I think this is more of like an average event here. But as we go, I'll show you through the system. Looks like we have a bit of an issue with precipitation type being mixed. I mean, you look in here. I'm kind of viewing it from Oshkosh here, but as you look at from Wisconsin south, the whole state overall, from the southern border to the northern borders, a bit of a precipitation mess there for a while. I think when the precipitation isn't as strong and a weaker, more moderate strength system, you're more prone to getting this type of look, okay? But as time goes on, it does strengthen. There, it looks like over the lower eastern Great Lakes, down to 997 millibar. On this model run, we'll see what the next few look like. And we'll also look at the last few. But yeah, I mean, so there's a chance of snow there. It looks like Friday into Saturday. I'm only going to leave it at that. I would say, I mean, looking at this model run, potential for accumulating snow, but I'm not going to go as far as saying anything other than that, really, because I don't think you could say that it's going to be a major system. Why? Now, I've just been talking about this. So here's the GFS. This is the latest run. I just picked a time frame there. It looks like this is on Saturday at noon about. And showing you that rain, snow. This to me is not a real clear signal. This is like kind of snowy, kind of rainy, but nothing too heavy. And then as we go back to look at some of these more recent runs for that same time frame, look at this one. It had a 994 millibar low over, what is that, eastern Lake Superior. Let's go back to the previous run before that. Oh, 995 over what is western Lake Superior. So this thing is bouncing around in that Friday to Saturday time frame. 993 over, and look at this big sprawling. It looks like a big Fibonacci circle or whatever you call that, the golden arch or golden spiral there. Big one over there in that model run. Okay, so let's just go back in time. Let's go back to the latest run, and you're saying, wow, how things have changed just within this one model. Okay, this is pretty typical, and this is why we have to just kind of slow down a little bit and see how things evolve. Now let's get that off there, and let's go take a look at the different models. Now the European, I wanted to look at the European. I trust it pretty well. It's one of my go-tos at this time frame. Kind of showing the same thing here. This is the European on that 0Z, so this is last night's run, and then this is GFS on the latest run. They're very similar, but overall, nothing to get too worked up about there. So I would put it as a chance of rain and snow there Friday and Saturday time frame. You're going to the Canadian, just another variation of the GFS. So that's what we're looking at there. Now for the fun, we'll take it beyond there, because I did mention it looks like there's going to be more southern stream, maybe another southern stream wave coming through a few days after this one. So, you see this big carve, this cold air kind of pouring in here behind that system that would be Sunday next week, this Sunday coming up. And then, okay, so let's go through. But that doesn't stick around long. It doesn't appear to. You have a quick moving system, almost like a clipper there early that week. And then by December 17th, GFS is trying to develop another system. This one looks like more rain. Again, at this model run, this is going to change 10,000 times. But the reason it's showing more rain here is if it's a southern stream system and it's not getting the phasing. And what you have is a trough here in the southern stream and then a polar Arctic jet that's not really involved at all. And so you get a lot of a warm surge in here, and it's mainly rain. You get this, again, that's the thing. You want these troughs to be phased, right? So that you have the cold air to kind of come back in that cold air conveyor format like that, and then cool off and produce snow, okay? But that's not what this system is showing. Again, everything's hypothetical at this point. We'll see how it actually turns out. But that's what I got for you today. We'll check in another time later this week, maybe midweek, on this system, and I'll let you know how it's going. If things take a turn to more of a significant situation, then I'll let you know. But thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys later.